Oh yeah. So what's the question again?
Okay, so it was on Reddit, and it said if you could have the answer to one conspiracy theory, what would it be? So like, there's one conspiracy theory, you can completely solve it and know exactly what's going on.
So do you remember the Oklahoma building or Oklahoma bombing on the federal building?
No, I don't know exactly.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So there was this bombing. This guy who wanted to get at the government and stuff. He bombed this Oklahoma building basically. That was a federal building, and he killed it was a car bombing, supposedly.
Supposedly?
I'm saying there's a conspiracy.
Okay.
Also, but anyway.
But is it a conspiracy on whether or not the bombing happened, or like
it framed someone else for the bombing.
Okay.
So it framed someone who I think worked in the government for the bombing, rather than this random guy.
Okay.
Kind of similar to 9/11, how some people say it was an inside job, which I don't believe that one near as much as I believe the Oklahoma one. But anyways,
okay, so the conspiracy is that the government guy did it and not the guy that they pinned it on. Or the conspiracy is
that the government, that someone
okay, so
the conspiracy is that there's like a mystery guy involved who actually did the bombing, and that some random guy just driving nearby got blamed for it.
Okay,
Which, how the story actually goes, how everyone knows it, is that the guy actually did, he had a bomb in his car and he blew up the side of the federal building and killed over 100 people and something. But then how the conspiracy started, and this is what's crazy, most conspiracies don't have tangible evidence. This one actually does. In the rubble of the bombing, afterwards, they found a leg, a human leg that was separated from a body. And they did DNA testing to find out whose leg that was. And it went to this one lady, I forget her name, but she died in the bombing. And then when they dug up her body, they did the DNA testing to find out whose leg it was, and it was that lady's. Then they dug up her body, and she had both legs in the coffin with her. One of the legs they could tell was hers, but then the other one, she had been buried with someone else's left leg. And because they had embalmed her body, they couldn't DNA test it. So there was a mystery leg, and everyone else's, all of the other victims' legs, both legs had been accounted for. Everyone's.
So there's some guy out there who lost a leg.
They're thinking that there's someone who is so close to the explosion, the supposed bomber, that his entire body was obliterated to pieces except for one leg.
See, I think that defies the whole laws of explosives, though, because in order to completely incinerate your body, if you're that close to where it could completely...
It's not even that close. The bomb would have had to have been inside of him for that to have happened.
But would it have just left his leg?
But no, here's the thing: it's not. They're not saying that they couldn't find any other pieces of his body around. There was that one piece that was big enough left. For instance, if a bomb went off right here and I exploded into a million pieces, someone else coming in 20 days later, given there would be probably a nasty smell or something like that, someone coming in 20 days later might not even be able to tell I had died here because I'd be all over there's not enough of me.
So it's not that just there's no trace. But that's the thing is left.
The leg. I know what story you're talking about, and the leg. It wasn't a from an ankle down to a foot. It was a leg.
Yeah.
And if it's gonna destroy your entire body as well as your other leg, I don't think that a bomb would be necessarily responsible.
So what if there's a conspiracy theory that someone put the leg in the rubble to create a conspiracy theory?
So we're
right
two
there
layers
would make
deep
more
into
sense.
Conspiracy. We have a conspiracy theory of them conspiring to create a conspiracy theory.
Maybe they're all right together. The government created a whole different conspiracy theory to cover up what really happened. So you have the story that they created, and they made a conspiracy theory to cover up what really happened.
Am I the only one that believes that most conspiracy theories are made by the government to cover up what really happened? Because I've always thought that every time there's a conspiracy theory online, because think about it, for something to gain that much traction, it has to have real planet. It can't just be some random nut that people start listening to.
You'd be surprised. If you think about it this way, nuts that people believe, those people that tell you about your dead family members. I can't remember what they're called right now. Psychics.
Mediums.
Yeah, mediums, psychic, whatever they're called.
Psychic is read your mind and read the future. Mediums talk to ghosts.
Anyway, those people, people believe that shit all the time. So, if you think of it from a marketing perspective, especially when there's a ton of whack jobs out there that hate the government and think the government's trying to kill everyone. From a marketing perspective, hey, we can make this whole idea 9/11 was actually done by the government. We can make a shit ton of money. Like, that makes sense.
How would they make
That
money?
sucks.
Oh, I guess traffic to the site, yeah.
Exactly. I mean, is it going to be a ton of it? Well, probably not, but look at all those 9/11 conspiracies that have made, like, a crap ton of money.
Or maybe it is the government, and the whole idea is not to draw attention for what actually happened, but to actually say what happened, right? So that people don't believe that it could possibly be. Because, I mean, you all, like, we had this conversation before. We were talking about it, and I was like, oh, you know, you said there's no way if the government, what was it? I think you were saying that if there's no way if the government did it, that they'd let anybody know. Or, I don't remember what you're saying, but basically...
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I was talking about it, like, it would have to be on such a large scale that, like, Snowden people, those people would, like, get killed. Like, they would be, if they even thought about releasing it, or if they even, like, came within 20 feet of a media person and were thinking about telling a story, they'd literally get shot.
Okay, but what I'm talking about is basically what actually happens gets leaked so that people see that, like, oh, there's no way that's what actually happened because they wouldn't have let it out if that's what actually happened. So, like 9/11, for example.
Yeah.
People think there's no way if the government did conspire to do that, would it be let out? You know, like, that's just that. That's, like, an example.
But the thing is, obviously, people believe that 9/11 was a conspiracy, so...
They do, but is there a big enough of a belief that there's actually something being done about it? Think about it.
Yeah,
it's there, so it's always the public eye, but nothing's happening. No one's acting on that. That's exactly what the government wants. They don't want people to...
I don't know. I see people on the internet all the time like, no, that was conspiracy. Don't trust the government. Don't buy a cell phone.
Okay.
Don't buy a computer.
But people still buy cell phones. People still buy computers. They still do all those things. Life goes on as normal.
That's the thing is everyone's so concerned about their privacy these days and all this stuff, but
nobody does.
Nobody like cares about it.
Well, yeah.
Why do you still see people buying iPhones even though they have the fingerprint scanner on it? And the Galaxy S5 is supposed to also have a fingerprint scanner on it, and I'm planning on getting that even though I'm concerned about my security. Because seriously, the thing is, people just like to bitch when it comes down to it about certain things. Like, there's no tangible evidence that the government is using your information to do harm, is there?
Well, I mean, there actually was a case, I just randomly saw it on the internet the other day, of an actual case where something that the NSA had gathered on people they were using in a criminal, like, case.
Yeah,
and this guy was suing about it. I didn't see what actually happened.
Yeah, it comes down to the whole, like, I can't remember right now. I know what case you're talking about. I actually read about it. Yeah, but basically the agency got in trouble because they didn't have the right search and seizure. They didn't have probable cause.
But I don't know a lot about this, but I heard somewhere that the people who did the bombing at the Boston Massacre actually looked up how to make the bomb on Google. So did the NSA fail there?
Yeah. So they don't.
Well, are you really? No, actually, they checked their search history and they looked up how to make a bomb with a pressure
cooker, right? But then I was listening to it.
So is the NSA gonna flag every freaking person that ever Googles?
To be honest, yeah.
But no, but listen. But then I was watching this. I was listening to this talk show radio thing. I'm one of the last people that does that, mostly because of my grandma. But the host was saying that he and his wife needed a new pressure cooker in their house, and they were just looking up, shopping for pressure cookers online, and then they also were looking up something else. I forget what the second thing was, but it
just happened to be searching for, nitroglycerin.
I don't know. But the main thing was that they were searching for a pressure cooker, and apparently federal agents showed up at their house.
What?
And then all that could occur to me was, why didn't, like, they were looking for a pressure cooker. When the Boston bomber typed in how to make a bomb with a pressure cooker.
Did he really search that?
I don't know a lot about it.
I'm not like, we're not like criminal analysts, but maybe it's like an actual criminal wouldn't be stupid enough to actually search that. So they don't look up people who just search up how to make a bomb. It's like people who like discreetly like look at this and
think about it this way though.
Have specific
There's this
criteria.
thing called the Anarchist Cookbook that basically tells you
how
how to make napalm.
Yeah.
Really, anybody who ever buys it,
you can buy
all sorts of shit. Pipe bombs, like big ones, small ones, medium sized.
It'll show you how to like make and use homemade thermite.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's really cool.
And you can buy it like at pretty much.
It's on
you can buy it at
Amazon.
Barnes and Noble. I saw one at Barnes and Noble.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, tell us in the comments below. If you could have the answer to one conspiracy theory, what would it be? And also, how do you feel about the NSA snooping over everything you're doing right now, including watching this video? But thank you for watching.